You're now tuned into the Lady Charmaine live show, and it's Hot Topics with Lady Charmaine, and we got a really good show for you tonight. Really excited because we have an all men's panel. And ladies, if you got questions, they got the answers. Well, at least try to answer them for you. So tonight we're going to get real and raw. They're going to give it to you just how it is, ladies. So if you're ready, make sure you tag, like, and share this page. If you have a comment, the fellas will be reading the comments tonight, so we definitely want to hear from you. So make sure you add your comment down there because we are going to be talking about all things on tonight. But we're going to be talking about that coming up right after this.
Alrighty now, let's get it. Let's go. Lady Charmaine is in the house, so you know we're gonna have a good time. You can relax your mind. Everything is gonna be alright. With Lady Charmaine live. Lady Charmaine live. Lady Charmaine live. Alrighty now.
And we're back with Hot Topics with Lady Charmaine. And again, I want to make sure that everybody tag and share with your friends because tonight is definitely going to be a great show. And I definitely want you guys to be able to know who's in the building as well. So we got the fellas in the building. You guys just saw them. And here is the number that I want you guys to call in on. The number is 916-226-9226 because we're going to be taking your calls. If you don't agree with nothing that they say, you want to hear that. If you agree, we want to hear that too. And fellas, don't be afraid to call in. If you agree with the partners in the room, so be it. And if you don't, we definitely want to hear from that because we know that everybody has a different opinion and we're going to respect everybody's opinion because it's their own personal opinion. And so either way, we just want to hear what the fellas have to say. And I want to introduce you to the fellas in the building. And we have, right now, we have my husband, Joe Bassett.
Joe.
Hey, good to be in here.
And then we have comedian extraordinaire. He goes by the name of Mr. Ozzy McNabb.
All right, Ozzy. Yes.
And
Yes.
then we have Mr. Sacramento socialite. Mr. Kenny. Hey, Kenny, how you doing, Mr. Kenny Taylor?
I'm good.
Yeah.
All
And
right.
then
All
we have
right.
the hair hustler in the building.
What's up,
Mr.
y'all?
Hustler.
D.
All right.
Yes.
Yes.
How you guys doing tonight?
We doing good.
Wonderful.
How you doing, lady?
Wonderful.
I am doing good. Now, the one thing I like when people got stuff that's happening. And the fellows are sharing with me a few things that they had happening in Sacramento. And so we're going to touch briefly on that. Ozzy just told me that he got a show coming up in December. Tell us about that real quick.
Yes. It is December 26th at Labs Unlimited. That's Old Sac on Front Street. I'm your host. It's actually my mom producing the show.
Wow.
Nice.
Nice.
Keep it in the family.
Yeah.
Yes. So I'll be your host. I got D. Tyler featuring. You may have seen him on Comic View. You've seen him all over Northern California. And my headliner is Tyline T. Buggy.
All
I have a
right.
few guest comedians in the house too.
That's what's
It's
up.
gonna be a good show, man. We're gonna have fun.
That's
All
what's
right.
up.
Good.
Congratulations, bro.
Oh man, let me see. What don't we have going on? Like right now and stuff. Doing a lot of things out there at the Lionsgate Hotel with Old School Entertainment and then Rock House Entertainment. We do Mature, Grown, and Sexy out there every fourth Saturday of the month out there at Lionsgate. Just had a great Halloween party. A lot of great costumes. A lot of folks came out, had a good time. Just trying to bring something different back to Sacramento, how it used to party.
That's right.
Good music, good people, good fun, and go home.
That's right.
All right. That's
Safely.
good.
So in other words, grown folks entertainment.
Grown folks.
Yes,
Yeah.
right there.
Entertainment for the grown people. Absolutely. Well, we're about to jump right into
Let's
it.
do it.
I
All right.
have some questions, y'all. I just want to ask the fellas some questions, and I just want to know. I feel like the old magazine, when they say inquiring minds.
Want to know?
Especially when it comes to like dating, because we know that this year, well, at least the past 10 years, dating has changed. The mindsets of people have changed. I don't know
true.
people
Oh,
dating
yeah.
no more.
Right.
Yep.
Friends with benefits and moved in about
That's right.
25 years ago, the term. So today, relationships, I think, is so miscrewed.
Right.
So one of my questions is, at what point in a relationship should couples start splitting dating bills? Or is there any point that they should do that? And if so, how do you start that conversation?
So, I don't think that if you're not dating, you shouldn't be splitting no. I mean, if you're not living together, you shouldn't be splitting no nothing because you ain't even accumulated no bills to split. I mean, unless you just being a captain saver, then that means that you're just trying to impress her, and then you're gonna go broke eventually doing it, and she's gonna be looking at you stupid in a year because you didn't spend all your money trying to impress. So I don't think that's a good idea if that's the situation. Now, when you're living together and you're living together, that's completely different because you're going to acquire more bills. Who's going to buy the toilet paper? Who's going to do this? Who's going to do that? So that's my opinion.
Yeah. Well,
what y'all think?
I feel the same way. I look at it this way. I mean, you trying to get to know somebody
Absolutely.
and everything. And I'm old school, so you're going to ask the woman out on a date.
Right.
So that means automatically right then and there and stuff, fellas, you better have your money, get your card right, make sure it's a good card.
You're right. Right.
And then, basically, be a gentleman. In fact, take it even further, man. Go back to the old school days of walking around, open the door for your lady, open the door when she get out the car, open the door when they go in the building, even when they go out the building. If you start doing those and setting those standards, man, I'm telling you, you're going to have a really great relationship.
Absolutely.
Okay, now, Kate, those are excellent points. But this day and age, it doesn't look like a lot of young men are being taught those old school values.
No.
Right.
I have seen literally a woman open up the door and the man literally go up under her arm and walk through the door before her.
Wow.
So who's teaching these young men today? Because like it's the old school values.
Right.
A lot of young men don't have the old school values. They literally roll up to your house, honk the horn, she come running out, and then today they meet each other online, and they catching the bus to go see the brother.
Right.
The Uber.
Right.
Yeah, going on Uber dates.
Right, and then we're going to be talking about these aggressive women today that's doing all the approaching where the men don't have to do anything. So how does a young man develop old school values like you just said?
Well, I think it really starts with the father in the household. Being a grown man, it's just not saying it. It's an attitude. So you got to understand that, if you do those things, treat her like you treat your mom. That's how I think that you should handle it. And my thing is this: if you pay attention to how your dad used to open the door for your mom, get an umbrella, he go get the car and bring the car to the front door if it's raining. Those values, like I said, they've gone out the window and stuff. Everybody's a clicker chick.
Yeah.
They
Now,
pull up.
I got interjected.
Yep.
A lot of young men wasn't raised seen
You
like that.
know what it's coming down to though.
Mom.
It's coming down to men need an etiquette class. I mean, because you're right. You don't have the fathers in the homes like you used
Right.
to. You don't even have the uncles or the OGs that are that way
right.
with women. And so it come down to the point where now it's like we almost need an etiquette class for the young men. Show them how to tie a tie. Show them how to open a door. Show them how to, because one time I remember taking somebody out to lunch or date or whatever. For some reason, they didn't accept a Visa card. And so I was stuck. I found myself stuck with the, trying to finagle what I could on my bank card, but having a Visa and a MasterCard, just something to back up, in case one card don't work.
Right.
You just got to be prepared. And a lot of men nowadays, especially young men, they don't know how to go through those steps to make sure you're right before going out.
Right.
That's right.
The
right way. And I also think too, it has to do with. That's a great point, but I also think that it has to do with the millennials letting the radio and their favorite artists raise them. Because if you listen to hip hop, it's like, I ain't letting no bitch, it's like, I'm gonna let her take care of me and stuff like that. They're pushing women taking care of men, period.
Right,
and it looks like if you're taking care of a woman, it look lightweight, like you a sucker, like she getting you for everything. But if she buying you shoes and taking you here and taking you there, then it looks like, okay, I'm pimping. You know what I'm saying? So
finessing.
Yeah,
You're
and so
finessing.
exactly,
Yeah,
and so that's the thing now. So and then you see women, I just bought him this. They get the bragging rights. They love bragging. Like, that's on his neck. I got that. Or it's almost like they claiming you in the sense.
You look at the shows on TV. I mean, I don't even know why they call them reality TV because that's not reality.
Right.
They running around and stuff, and they fighting over the young man, and like you said, this one trying to outbuy the next female, just to be the one that that's my man, but it's really not because there's
it's
another
not your
chick
dude.
doing the same thing that you do.
It's all y'all, man.
And like you said, they look at it as like, okay, I'm supposed to be taken care of by a woman.
Yeah, absolutely.
And, you got a lot of women nowadays that don't appreciate good men.
Come on, come through with it. Come through with it.
Right.
Ask to
And
take
cook and make sure that
women
your
out for a cup of coffee. Can I take you out for a cup of coffee?
Come on, Ozzy. Come on.
Well, those are
That
nerds.
part.
Those are nerdy men. That's the problem.
Okay, to a lot of women's defense, if you've never seen it or experienced it, it's hard to appreciate it. You have a lot of women today that was never treated like a lady. They've been treated like a piece of material or a sex object because they've never seen
Right.
a man treat a woman like a lady. They have no idea what that's like. So when you have a man being nice to you, it's like, well, do you want something from me? Because some women equate a man being nice to them is that he wants something from them, like sex. Because usually a man, if I do this for you, what you gonna give me? A lot of young men have that mentality. And so in their mind, it's like, okay, well, if he takes me out, they sometimes feel obligated to have sex with you because that's how some men make a woman feel. If I'm gonna take you out, if I'm gonna pick you up, if I'm gonna take you to a white linen restaurant, if I'm gonna give you some more d'oeuvres afterwards, I'm gonna give you dessert, what you gonna give me after this?
It would be for me if I was single, it would definitely be a requirement. Because if I'm investing in you like that, there is no way that if then you know that's we both grown again. Like,
why does sex have to be the payback?
because we both started out, we're getting to know each other, and especially if that night ends good and we're attracted to each other, then that's what else is there? I mean, yeah, we could go in and kiss and be like, okay, well, we're gonna keep on waiting, but what is there to wait for when we both adults? Like,
But why
you know,
can't it just be good conversation? Why does she have to give a piece of herself that's valuable to you because you paid a meal for her and you want her to give her body to you?
that's what I'm personally feeling. Now, if she feeling all tense and everything, and and she putting off that energy, absolutely not. I'm leaving, and I probably won't spend no more money on her. But at the end of the day, if she's putting that same, and she's still attracted to me, or she's feeling a certain way, don't fight that energy. Don't try to be like, oh, I'm a good girl. Went through it. Don't impress me because I ain't worried about you being no good girl.
It's not fighting energy because in the sexual energy and chemistry is natural because that's what God gave you.
Right.
But if I'm not married to you, I should not give you the best part of me, which I feel is priceless because you gave me a meal that I'm going to digest and it's going to come out the back end in 18 hours.
Well,
No.
you know what it is? The mentality is this.
No, lady.
Everybody thinks nothing in this world is free. And that's the concept that they have when they're going out on a date. Okay, I'm taking you out on a date, so you have to give me something. Everything has to be like bartered. You know, we're gonna go through and we're gonna have a situation where, okay, well, I'm gonna do this for you, so you need to give me this. If you start out that way, you're gonna have problems all the way going through the entire relationship,
Right.
because
True.
you feel like you have to trade, and it shouldn't be that way. My thing is this: like you said, if I'm asking you out on a date, you know,
Well, wait a minute, brother. Like, wait a minute, Kenny, my brother.
Yeah.
Okay, so that means that if we can't trade getting stuff. So why can't we have a competition on out loving each other? That's a good trade, right?
No, but that's a good trade. But that's something that you build when you later on down in the relationship. My thing is this:
food.
I'll tell you something that's
But
interesting.
well, buy me something then.
You know, I've been out before where I took somebody and bought them something to eat, and they turned around and bought me something to eat, and it surprised me.
Wow.
You know, because my mentality
the
was
norm?
okay.
You was
The
just
norm
saying,
is
yep.
if I ask you on a date, I'm the one that's paying.
Yep.
Now, I had a conversation with some friends that we said once before. You know, well, what if a woman asks you out on a date? Is she paying? Not necessarily.
Okay.
My thing is this: I'm already ready to pay.
Right.
Right.
You
Okay.
offer
You
it
got-
as
you
a
gotta
gentleman.
pay.
As a gentleman, I'm
you
already
offer
ready
it.
to
be
pay.
ready.
Yeah.
But I've had where they've said, "Oh no, I got this. I asked you out on a date." That's very rare, and it was
Yeah.
very surprising. But like you said, most of the time when a man takes a woman out, in their mind they already know, okay, that man's paying for this meal, and that's the perception that they have. But the bad part is that in the back of their mind, they feel like, okay, well, I took him out to eat, so I have to give him something. And it doesn't, a lot of times, like I said, it doesn't have to necessarily be sex. But that's usually what winds up happening because they've been trained that way. If you watch on TV, the shows, the gentleman, okay, baby, I bought you a nice car. Okay, well, I'm about to go break you off. Why does it have to be that
The
way?
woman should feel that way. You should feel that if I'm giving you a dinner starting off right off rip, if I'm giving you a dinner, you should feel like you need to you should give me something. And why? Let me explain why. Let me explain
I
why.
disagree with that, but
let
go ahead.
Let me explain why,
Go ahead and
y'all.
explain why.
Okay, so the reason why I say that is because me personally, I'll never start off a potential relationship with okay, I bought the meal, that's fine. You don't have to give me sex, but the next day, and you closing the door and you just giving me a kiss, the next day at least buy me a Starbucks card for $25. Surprise me. Do something out of the ordinary, because I'm not going to deal with a woman. I'm not that type of man where I'm going to just keep giving. Oh, he ain't proved to me yet that I'm his woman. He going to take me out for 4 more days, and then that's the proof. Reading Steve Harvey book. It's too many women.
Yeah.
That book messed a lot of women up. For us men, we are human too. So it's like, why we got to keep, this is 2018. If the game them changed a lot for y'all, with y'all being independent and doing all this, making more, then the game them changed in every level. You know what I'm saying? So like, I'm not finna be courting and not receiving nothing. It's not gonna go down like that with me.
Well, in the process, like I said, but in the process of courting, you should be, like I said, a woman should want to do something for you being nice to them.
And it don't have to be sex. Don't get me wrong, y'all. I'm not saying that, but for me, I just feel like that would personally, if we're attracted, I understand what Lady's saying, but if we're attracted to each other, because like she said, that's a God-given thing, but everybody might not be attracted to each other, right? At the end of the day, I might can't stand you. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, and you might hate me. So it's like, but if we really feeling that, why are we adults in 40s and 50s and 30s, and like we're fighting that? For what? What the hold up? What are you going to go and tell your homegirl? Who knows about this?
See, this is the thing with me. If she's like that with you that quickly, my concern is how many other dates she going on, supposedly, where she's making that connection, where she's because then she gets in a relationship and has issues and trust issues and abandonment issues and all that stuff coming out. I look at it as a date, as an investment in somebody that I'm really interested in.
Okay.
Now I'm gonna stop investing if I'm no longer interested. And we just ended short.
Right.
But if it's somebody that you're interested in, I have no problem dating because I know it's going somewhere. And if she's feeling the same way, I'm investing into our future together. But again, the chemistry's not there. Of course, I'm gonna break it off. And if I don't get anything in return, then I'm okay with that.
Okay, well, Brother Joe, can I ask her then, if I'm feeling that way and I'm like, ooh, she did give it up quick, we getting ready to do it. Like, can I ask her and say, well, you know, how many men? Now I know she might lie, but at least soothe me. Can I do that without her getting offended?
I don't think she'll tell you.
No, I doubt it very seriously.
I don't think she'll tell you,
lady.
because I think she would be embarrassed if her response was too high or whatever. You know, is she a local girl and you be asking up on her? And I don't think that.
Give me that choice. You know, if I ask you, you should give me a choice. Like, and then you can ask me. You know, if that's what you think. But why is that a double standard? Because most men didn't had a lot of partners, and the woman never has, even if it is a week later or 2 weeks later.
I think we give a woman the double standard.
We give them the double standard. I think.
I think we do that.
Okay.
And also too, I think we look at it that we look at a woman, especially one that you might be interested in. You're always going to be like, okay, I know she has not been with that many men. And that's what you want to believe.
Absolutely. Every man wants to believe that.
That's what you want to believe. Every man that has gotten married. Okay.
Till we pull up in that closet.
Okay, when I see her, I see angels, a halo, wings,
and
there you
go. There you go.
And there goes the choir.
Yeah.
It's not happening.
Until she show you a picture of those 6 kids.
It's 2018.
She show you her 6 kids she had when she was 23.
With all different baby daddies.
Right, you know. But answer this question. You know, this is something that's interesting, though, and stuff. You know, the art of a man and a woman being friends has been thrown in the garbage.
That's true.
And you know, my thing is this: if more relationships started out that way, I think more marriages would last longer. Right. If you actually were your mate's friend. Because my thing is this and stuff. How many less arguments would you have if you sat there and said, "Let me see, what's her favorite color? What's her favorite foods? What's her favorite smell? What's her favorite place?" You know, asking those kind of questions.
This grown man talking right here.
And my thing is this: if you really did that, how many fewer arguments would you actually have? You know, and I take that from my grandma. Passed away at 102 years old, and I tell you, she was the patriarch of our family and our rock of our family. And one thing that she used to always say is, hold on to that person's hand. That was her favorite saying, hold on to their hand. And I'm like this, friends hold hands.
Right.
You know, you see a lot of relationships, and you see people walking in the mall or walking around and everything else, and they don't hold hands.
So
but when they first started dating, they held hands.
Right.
You know, and like they say, oh, do what you did to catch her. No, learn her. And she needs to learn you, because my thing is this, like I said, if I know what you don't like and what you like, then I'm going to be a smart man. Let's say you don't like seafood. Okay, I'm going to be a smart man, and I'm going to say, okay, honey, let's go out to dinner. You say, well, you pick. I'm not gonna pick Red Lobster.
Right, right.
I'm not gonna
Right.
take you down to Station 16. You know, I'm not gonna take you down there to crustaceans.
Absolutely.
You know, common sense
Absolutely.
tells me not to. Why would I want to do that?
Yeah.
I'm starting an argument. But my thing is this, like I said, if people would spend more time trying to be friends and getting to know folks, I think their relationships would probably be a lot better.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
And don't think that I'm like this is me after 22 years of marriage. Like I spoil my wife. You like everything. When
Yeah,
I
I
first
know.
got, it was just too much. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, it's like if whatever, it's like you just can't sometimes do that because at the end of the day, you're not letting up so they can show you what they made of. You know what I'm saying? You
Right.
trying to do too much, trying to prove yourself or trying to
Right.
spoil too hard or trying to do what your parents didn't do, what you didn't see, you know? And you trying to be different from them and you're overdoing it. And then at the end of the day, sometimes you're the one that's getting dismantled. You're the one that's being taken for granted
Right.
instead of the woman. You know what I'm saying?
Reciprocation is the key.
Absolutely.
But Derek, you have women that do the same thing. They give so much to a man that they feel like that they're not being taken care of. So I think, and depending on the actual relationship, I believe that sometimes it could be almost as equal because you have a lot of women who give so much in a relationship, but he's just not there. He's just not giving. So it's not just you or another man. Women feel the same way. You hear
He
that
probably
all the
wasn't
time.
interested in her in the first place. That's probably what it is.
True that.
He probably just, I guess, settled.
Right. Right.
But I do think something to that point, though. Some women give themselves too freely to the wrong man too quickly,
Yes.
and then they find
Amen.
themselves emptying
Amen.
out all this on some joker that didn't care for them that way anyway.
Right.
Yeah.
And then
And
they
then-
hold it
Probably
back.
that's-
Then they
on
hold
next
back on the
relationship.
one that does.
Right. And the one that's doing what they really
Yeah.
wanted,
Yeah.
their eyes have been closed because now they got blinders on that
Yeah.
they're like, okay, this last guy that I did everything for
Right.
treated me like and so now here comes somebody that's opening the doors and they talking to them nice. They can't receive it.
Right. Right. Right.
You know, and I'm like, you have to open your eyes and see. God gave you 2 eyes and 1 mouth. That means He gave you good eyesight to see what's going on, and He gave you 2 ears for you to listen
Yeah.
with. And that's the thing that does not happen is that
Right.
people are talking and they're telling you. If a man breaks down and tells you,
Hi, we have a call on the
Now,
line.
here
You're
comes-
welcome to Hot Topics with Lady Charmaine. And can you turn your radio down in the back?
I will.
Hi, what's your name? Where you calling from?
This is Stephen Parker calling from Richmond, California. Hold on, ladies. Charmaine, God dog it. 'Cause this is a great.
Hey, Stephen Parker. from
I'm
Richmond,
back,
California.
y'all. What's happening, y'all?
"What's happening?
going on,
What's
Steve?
going on, bro?"
Can I be honest? And I'm glad you have an all-male panel there with you, Lady Charmaine, because what I really believe, and I hope these brothers will step up and follow me with this, is that men, unfortunately, you know, our attraction makes us want something from women that's physical. And then after we get that physical thing that we wanted from them because they're so beautiful and the body that they present, after we get that, we lose interest in trying to, you know, fulfill the other needs that they have as a woman.
Ooh, that's good.
You know, our main goal is to get what they, you know, are showing us is what we want. You know, their beauty, their body, and all of that. But after that, it's like, okay, I got it. Oh, now I gotta, you know, do all this other stuff. And really all I wanted was what you were showing me that, you know, what I want. It's a cold thing. And I think men have not, you know, gotten to that place where we have developed beyond our physicalness to where we really can. Now, your husband is special, Charmaine. I know he is special. God dog it. Hey, man.
Brother Joe.
Yeah, there we go.
Thank you very much.
He makes you happy, and he is somebody special. And there's a lot of men out there who are, we are special, but, you know, we have to know that there's more than sex to a woman, you know, that we have to offer them, you know?
That's good.
Absolutely. I'm glad you hit that because I've heard that before. A lot of times when a man gets the prize, they lose interest. It's like once they got whatever they were imagining in their mind, and then they move on. And a lot of women, that's why they feel that hurt after they actually had sex with somebody. The guy stops calling. He's not interested anymore. And I think it might be because of that very fact that you just said.
Absolutely. I mean, that's what we work to get that. And most women will tell you after they give it, men change. The whole persona changes. They'll probably after the first few times, they'll still kind of be, but after they get it, it changes our whole perception of that person. And I would say this to any woman listening: save it. Don't give it to nobody until you know that man is the person, that deserves that and that will treat you accordingly.
Now let me ask you a question. Why do you think it changes the perception?
God,
Does it
I
make you
mean,
think she's easy? Does it make you think she gives it to other people?
Say it again.
Does it make you think she's easy? Does it make you think she gives it to other people as easily as she gave it to you?
Well, this world is a trip. I mean, there's always somebody finer than me, got more money than me, got a better car than me, got a bigger house than me, and so I would think there's always somebody who, if I can get it, and I ain't got no money, and I ain't got my house is mediocre, so but there's always somebody better. But I'll say this to that, Lady Charmaine, and that is this: we have to understand that we are human beings that are so flawed, and that our relationships, a lot of us haven't seen two parents who've been together for 40 years and 50 years and loving each other. Some of us have. I'm not saying that they haven't, but I haven't. My mama been married 4 times, 5 times. I've seen jokers come in and out, and so I never had, that example to where I know how to treat a woman and know how to value her beyond just her sexual thing that she can give me. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Well, that
That's
is
a good
so
point.
good,
That's a good point,
Stephen.
Stephen.
Thank you for sharing that.
You're welcome. I love your show and I support you. Love y'all. I see y'all.
Love you too,
Stephen.
All right, man.
Thank
Steve,
you.
have a good one.
That was so good because according to what he saw going on in his household, when you see people coming in and out, he was never taught that. Oh,
You know what it
Stephen,
reminded
that
me
was
of,
good.
though? It reminded me of high school locker room talk. You in high school, the girls on campus, you comparing notes, you comparing numbers. I know when we were in high school, dudes used to talk about how many they had and who and how they do it and how they like it. And you just show all this stuff in the locker room. But unfortunately, that was when we was, 16, 17. Right. You got some men now, 35, 36, still having that high school locker room talk on who they've been with, how long, how many they've been. So at some point, it's on the man to mature and say, you know what, I'm not going to treat a woman like that anymore.
That was one of my fears. I never wanted to be locker room talk.
Right.
I never wanted that because I used to always hear guys talk about girls. Even when I went off to college, I was always that girl that guys would come to get advice from. So I would hear all the other girls' business. I just never wanted to be that girl. I just never wanted to be that girl that dudes was talking about. So I'll be the girl that y'all wanted advice from, and y'all talk about the other girls. I didn't want to be that girl. I just did not. I just had an issue with that.
Yeah, and the sad part about it is that only 25% is true what the man's saying anyway with all the women that they said that they was with. That's the sad part, is that they would put a lot of women's names in their mouths just trying to boost their ego, make them seem like they
Lying
something
on they
that they're
thing.
not.
Right.
Lying on their thing. I mean, we hear it all the time. We hear it all the time. You used to always hear that and stuff, that they would talk like that.
A couple boys back home, man, that lie on their stuff. I'm like, man, look.
Come on, man.
Stop it. Yeah, stop it.
I was with her last night.
Right.
She really was.
Right.
Say stop it right now.
But the question, the thing I wanted to say though about Stephen that he brought up, like I said, I think the reason why they get disinterested in women and stuff is this: men like shiny things, and they look at women as trophies. And it's like, okay, I got that trophy. Let me put it on the shelf. And he'll do things, and he's like, okay, I won her. She's mine. That's my girl. Let me put her on the trophy up on the shelf. Yeah. And then it's like, okay, here's a good time to do something with her. Let me go get the trophy. Let me dust it off. Do something nice for her. And like you said, if you did a bunch to get her, keep doing it.
Sure.
Keep your trophy down here, because trophies look nice when they sitting on the table and they shiny. That's what you want your wife to do. You want your wife to shine, or your girlfriend to shine, or your partner to shine and stuff. That's what you do.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Wow.
And see, I kind of slightly disagree with Steve. I love what he said, but I just feel like men don't fall out of love with a woman or after we get it, because there wouldn't be no married men or nothing, especially if she putting it on you and everything. But at the end of the day, what about how, okay, that's fine and everything, but for me, it's like I'm Aquarius, so I'm gonna stay with you, especially if you're showing me something. Show me something, make me want to get your lingerie. Keep me, keep me interested.
Do
Right.
something interesting. Make me wanna
Interesting.
stay.
Boom.
How you
There it
live on
is.
Hot Topics with Lady Charmaine and the fellas. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
I'm Dee. I'm calling from Sacramento.
Hi, D. What's your comment?
Okay, my question. Okay, my comment is to the fellas. Okay, how when you confess your love to a woman, you guys been married, but I don't say about 20 years.
And what was your
Okay,
question
say
again?
again. Okay, my question is to the guy. Like if you've been with your woman or your wife for like 20 years or so, and then you go step out on your wife that
Okay.
you confess your love to, and then you have a baby with another woman.
Oh, that's hard.
Oh my God.
So
All
you're
right,
saying
fellas.
how we do that? What's the question?
It happens a lot too.
So so we want to narrow down what your exact question is, D. You want to know how can they profess their love to a woman they've been married for 20 years and have a baby by them? How do they do that? D?
Did we lose her?
Okay.
That might have been a question. I think at some point, 20 years. Let's face it. That's a long time.
Right.
You've been together a long time. You've been through some ups, some downs. You had some
Absolutely.
disputes, arguments, all this. So probably some halfway falling outs and everything else.
Right.
And so for anybody to break the union, man or woman, there had to be some miscommunication there. Some hurt unresolved, some needs may not be getting met, and none of that's been worked through. And if you
Absolutely.
let that stuff just simmer over the course of months and years, that's when that distance start growing apart. The intimacy, not just sex, but the intimacy in that relationship now, there's damage at some point.
Amen.
And
Amen.
that's when a man is still
Vulnerable.
has the same needs and desires, but if there's distance in that relationship, that in some cases it may go unspoken because you just resolve to sleep on the couch.
Absolutely.
You resolve to just this is just the way it is.
Yeah.
And if you step out, I can see stepping out as a man's way of unfortunately just saying, you know what, I'm gonna just go someplace else. And I think again it breaks down though in the communication, the intimacy, and all of that happens within the marriage that's never resolved.
Come on.
Right.
Speak that, Brother Joe. I completely agree.
Okay, here's a question. Do you feel sometimes that women misread the signs in a dating relationship? Do you feel that men can be misleading? So basically, do you feel that men can be misleading or women mislead the
A lot
signs?
of women mislead, and they
Yep.
mislead.
They mislead.
Okay,
Serious.
it's all on the woman.
Right.
Okay.
I'm not saying like, maybe it's just the women I dealt with, but it's like, they misjudge me. I hate like when women misjudge a situation. That's just one of my biggest pet peeves.
Okay, so my question for you is, how do they mislead? Are you guys doing some things that make them think?
You know what? I'm gonna just say this. Guys have been known to mislead women. I mean that's you don't go to a woman and tell her all your business up front of you, especially if you're trying to be with her. And so I've known guys, and I've done it myself when I was dating. You don't tell everybody who you still seeing. When you talking to somebody else, you still got somebody in the background that you still messing with. And so you leave that for later on. Let her catch some feelings first. Let the relationship develop first. Make her think you single and available. See what she's willing to do, how far y'all willing to go. You may spring that on later or get caught later, but you don't come with your full deck exposed when you first meet somebody. I think, and both sides may be doing that.
Oh yeah, it's like playing poker.
You don't expose
show
your
your
hand too
hands.
early.
That's right. That's real. Don't do it.
No.
It's funny. It's so funny that you said that because I actually do a stand-up bit about things that you can't tell a woman that you're really really trying to be with. That's why I'd rather be the side dude. When you the side dude to tell the chick anything.
Okay, for real.
I was the side dude to this one girl, and I told her I felt kindergarten. I said, I can't tell this girl.
You ain't worried about trying to impress her.
I can't tell your chick you felt kindergarten. She was all in your face.
Yeah.
Exactly. At one point.
Oh, so it's basically your show is called The Things You Tell Your Side Chick.
Wait.
Now it'd be the raw dude though that would let up front. No, I got a girl or I am married. So some women go for that.
Yeah.
They go for that because that fits what they're trying to get anyway. So hey, I got a wife. I'm married. They see the ring, whatever, and they're still willing to talk to you. You got something out there. I mean, that's just where we are now.
Well,
People,
there's
they
no
know.
restrictions in that
Yeah.
relationship
Yeah.
that they're building. If they see that a man is married or they see that, you know, like I said, he has a girlfriend and everything else, and they're like, okay, well, I'll do these things over here, but I don't have to hear nothing he got to say. I don't have to do what
Exactly.
he has to say.
Exactly.
I don't have to do what he tells me to do. They're comfortable with that.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so it's in some cases. I mean, they just as bold as a dude.
Yeah.
Psh, better say that.
So, what are some ways that you feel that women can mislead themselves in a relationship?
He ain't leaving. Don't think that you
Come on.
got somebody married and you gonna be so good that he
real
gonna leave
spill.
everything.
Come on.
And if by chance he says he is, he's just seeing how far you gonna go.
Yeah.
Y'all saw how far you gonna go.
Right.
So basically, ladies, he ain't leaving.
He ain't leaving.
Nope.
It's been
He ain't
3-4
leaving.
years. He haven't left yet.
Yeah,
Nope.
especially if you hanging around for years. If he would have left, a long time ago.
Like dude did in Harlem Nights when
He
he
would've been
met
gone.
Sunshine.
He been gone.
He left immediately.
He been gone.
No, bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Right.
He would have been ready to leave. If he met you, he must have been ready to leave and would have left. But if you stringing along and y'all having a side thing going on for a while and he's still giving you excuses after excuses, I mean, it'll take. I don't believe he's leaving.
That's
Okay.
true.
I mean, that's why I think women leave themselves on.
Interesting. Okay, now I do have a question for you guys, fellas. Now, we know that there's a whole lot going on in this world today. You know, Black love at its finest. Thank you, Oprah Winfrey, for airing Black love. Do you still think that there are good options out there for Black women when it comes to finding a good Black man?
Absolutely.
I do.
Yes.
Yeah.
In Jamaica.
Because you got to think about your woman. Like, what is a good Black? I mean, what's your standard? What echelon are you on when you want a good Black man? What's your idea of a good Black man? You know.
Because you know how they always say there's like 12 women to one man.
Right.
Do she have options? Because and then they always say, and if there's 12 women to one man, the man you want is already gone, is already taken. So lower your standard.
Yeah. Well, I do believe that. I see it dealing with women a lot. Like you see it. It is the ratio is out. There's way more men, and men get their pick on women.
Right.
Women do whatever for men,
Right.
and women they do get to they go into a shell and say, I'll just give up F dating, and it's their whole resentment and because they keep getting this same dude. You know, they keep picking the same.
Right.
They have a pattern.
Yeah, but you know what though? You got to think too though. Sometimes the pattern that what they're projecting out, they have a certain pattern. You're gonna attract the normal person that you're putting out to. Like I said, if you say act a certain way, you're gonna get that certain kind of guy
Right.
all the time, and you're like, okay, how come I can't find a good man? Well, what are you putting out?
Right. Exactly.
Because you can't sit there and say there's no good men out there, you know, all the time. That
Right.
can't be your excuse and stuff. 'cause
But,
like I said, a
but
lot
what
of
is her caliber though? Because the
Exactly.
good man,
What
she
kind-
could be cooking and doing all stuff like how we just talked
Right.
about earlier, and then she don't like that because she not used to it. So then, what is her idea? She wanted him to hit on her a little bit and just be good on the weekends? Like, what is this woman's standard of a good
Right,
man?
right.
You know, every woman is different. There's billions of women. So what's her standard?
Right.
Then we can answer the question. That's what I
Right,
feel.
right.
You know,
But
do
also
she want a Bill Clinton? Do she want Obama, millionaire? What does she want him to look this like? Like I never get that question because it is asked a lot. Like
Right.
it ain't no good men or suggested. I would say.
Right.
How you like with Hot Topics? Good lady is Charmaine and the fellas. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Look at you said.
Hey, Lady Charmaine. This is Elle calling from Dallas.
Hey, how are you?
Hey, fellas.
Hey.
D-Town.
I'm good. How are you, honey bun?
Thank you so much for calling in.
You're welcome. So you guys have a great topic tonight. And it's nice to hear the men's perspective, but what I'm finding nowadays that women are now starting to date like men. And in order to get the men that they want, they have to start acting like men, literally. I mean, in a way of really being selective in who they spend their time with, how much they give, kind of mirroring what a man does is very important for us to do that. And it's taken me a long time, after being married once, being divorced for a while, to really get that. But I think once women start doing that, then we'll attract what we really want in our lives, and we won't fall for the foolishness.
Ah, very
okay.
good. Now, why do you feel that women are now trying to date like men?
And when I say that, I don't mean act like men. I mean more so in just being selective, having a standard. I feel like for a long time as women, a lot of women, we always are willing to settle and lower our standards for men. When men won't do that. Men, what they want is what they want. They're not going to settle.
Right, right.
Where women, we will. We'll say, we'll date on potential instead of saying, you know what, he's not there, I'm not going to move forward.
Right.
But men are like, I'm not dating on potential. You'll be my side piece, but we're not going any further than that.
Wow.
I love that.
So-
Dating on potential.
That's
Wow.
good.
Might have to say that.
So
love
that's
that.
mine.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for calling in. We're going to talk about that.
That's
Dating on
good.
potential.
That's
Girl,
good.
thank you so much.
Yeah,
You
that's
gave me
good.
another topic to talk about, girl. Thank you.
Okay. Have a good night.
You
All
too.
right.
Bye-bye.
That is good.
Do you feel that, and I do believe a lot of women do date on potential, what they think he can be. I can make him, I can mold him, because we try to make a man into what we want him to be instead of who he is.
Right. And good luck with that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it
No,
does
good luck
backfire.
with that.
A lot of times.
Yeah,
Good
it
luck
backfired
with
on
that.
J-Lo with Ben Affleck. She tried to
True.
make him something
That's
that he
true.
wasn't.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
But how many of we got potential brothers and he still haven't even come into his potential and you still taking care of him? You still filling out his job application for him? He can't even do his own paperwork. But it's true. You helping him take,
But there's
pay for
people
his-
out there like that, though.
Yeah.
But see,
helping
I-
him pay for his what you call child support.
That's one of the worst things a woman can do is try to make a man commit or make a man settle down or
That's
to
good.
trap a man. Or they try to manipulate the relationship to the point where it's a relationship that they want instead of the relationship that he's choosing. Because I truly believe a woman can't make a man settle down.
no, she
No.
cannot.
No.
And women try to do that all the time. They try to be the best whatever, but if a man doesn't have in his mind and his heart that he wants to settle down and be with you, nothing you can do to try to manipulate that is
Right.
going to
Okay.
work.
So, okay.
And so I think that's one of the reasons why they fool themselves and they have the potential, like you a good potential husband. So they want to trap you down now, but you ain't ready to be a husband. You ready to
Absolutely
date.
not. Yeah.
So anything
Right.
she gonna do at this time is just the wrong time.
Yeah.
And so
Timing is
that's
off.
just it.
Well, it's-
Now, my
Completely off.
question is, do men, after they've been with a woman for a certain amount of years, they're comfortable with her? Because they know everything about her, she's cool. And so when a woman gives that man an ultimatum and says to him, well, if you don't settle down with me, I'm leaving. And he says, okay, just because he's comfortable.
That's
Do you
just
feel that
settling.
happens? Yeah, it's settling.
I mean, he's gonna
Do you
be
feel that
happy.
happens a lot in relationships?
Yes.
Yes.
Mm.
Yes.
Just because, she cool. I know she cool. I know her
And
family.
I feel like it's not fair to the man or the woman because there could be somebody out there that really wants that woman. There could be a woman out there that really wants that man. Why y'all wasting each other's time?
Come on. Come through.
Interesting.
That's it.
Real
Interesting.
talk.
But nobody wants to pull the plug though and say it's over.
Right.
Oh no, nobody ever wants to.
You know what I'm saying? Nobody,
Nobody wants to be the one to get that label.
nobody wants to say we
Yeah.
just gonna cut our losses here.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
been 3 years. You
Yeah.
want me to marry you? I don't want to get married. So why don't we just
Now,
end
do
it?
you feel that the
That
man may
part.
not want to get married because he don't want to see her with another man because he knows she's a good woman?
That too.
See, he knows
Yeah.
she's a good woman,
too.
and he don't want to see that good woman with another man because he's not sure if he'll find another good woman like her. She's good, but she's not great to be a wife.
Stop worrying about her and start focusing on the new life you gonna live, and you would have no room for that. You
Right.
know, start finding you the best thing that you can. If you have focusing on yourself and the new life that you're beginning to live, it's no need to focus on her or what's she doing. You know, let her live her
Y'all
life.
get lonely. Y'all don't want to be without
You know
a
what?
woman.
You know what?
And men
Charmaine,
settle.
Charmaine, you're hitting it.
A
You're hitting
man
it
is not
because
supposed to be
because
alone.
a man doesn't want to just fire the whole team. you want to have somebody
Right.
on the bench. You know, have somebody be able to pull in. You just get rid of everybody because it's hard for a man to be completely single. I mean,
Yeah.
not seeing
Well,
anybody,
like I
not
said,
dating anybody,
absolutely.
not
God
talking to
didn't make us-
anybody.
he didn't make us that way to
You
be
know?
alone. You know, he saw that. He said that a man is not supposed to be
Not supposed to.
alone. You know, but like you said, is if you're comfortable with somebody, like I said, if a man gets comfortable with a woman that's there living with him and everything else, but he doesn't want to commit into it, like you said, that woman just needs to be strong enough to say, you know what, he's not the one for me, and move on. You know,
Because he won't do
because
it.
he's not going to do it. The man's not going to do it. He doesn't
Right.
want to be the one that, well, I pulled the plug on everything and stuff, because then he's going to have this reputation that, oh, you strung her along, you did her wrong, and so now you done left her high and dry. You know, and he doesn't want that stigma on him.
And I think he just doesn't want to be alone and just cut off that relationship without having anything to replace it with.
Right.
You know,
yeah.
I mean,
definitely.
you know, if
definitely.
if
you're
he's
not gonna
seeing,
stop something before it's almost like a job. You don't quit your job until you got another one. I'm just saying. Don't quote me on that.
but it's right. But you know,
but
it's kind of
that's how they look at it. You know.
and with the ratio there is now, you unfortunately men have that option of saying, okay, well,
But you know what though? But
that's
women have that same option too. There's women out there that
There's-
have a man and everything
and that's-
else, and they're
yep.
like, you know what? This brother ain't getting it done for me right now. He's not giving me the things that I
kills
need,
certain men.
and she will go get
Yeah.
somebody, and y'all could be in the same room standing next to each other, and you guys will not know.
and that would devastate a man. I do believe men hurt worse than women when it comes to that. If
yeah.
if a woman were to step out on a man like a man steps out on a woman, oh, we'd be crushed.
Right. Well,
We'd be crushed. We couldn't do that.
Yeah, we internalize
We couldn't
everything.
do
That's
that.
why men
If we
be
get,
having,
if we
that's
get
why these men
dropped
be
this
having
quick,
ulcers.
if we get dropped this quick,
That's why men be having ulcers and popping tums and because heartburn and stuff. You know, and talking about aint.
and I tell you,
I mean,
if she were to step in, if she were to step in and say, you know what, I'm leaving you. I found me somebody that's willing to love me the way I've been wanting you to love me, and you not doing it, and I'm out. Oh man, be devastated.
Look at Jamie Foxx did a movie.
Devastated.
Jamie Foxx did a movie on that, The Breakup. The man, I mean, the girl left and said, "I'm going to Europe." It's not you, it's me, and left. And his partner came opened the door. The man had an afro, beard, shirt button crooked. You know, I mean,
And you know everybody gonna say, man, you let a good woman go.
Wait a minute,
they
everybody.
always gonna
Our
say that.
broadcast, we're having this funny type of interruption coming into the broadcast. So I'm able to see it and just like kind of blinking in and out. So thank you guys for staying there with us. We don't. There must be something going on with the Wi-Fi or something. So we're having this funny blinking. So I kind of see what you guys are able to see. So thank y'all for hanging on in there. Thank you guys for watching. So just know we're here. It's just doing something real funny style. But thank you guys for definitely tuning in. Okay, here's another question. How do you guys really feel about really strong, aggressive women when it comes to a relationship and when it comes to women pursuing men instead of men doing the pursuing and the chasing? How does that make you feel? You know, a woman says she sees something, she want to go get it. Do you feel that the relationship would always have to remain that way if you have the woman doing the pursuing and not the man? Or are you still believe in the old-fashioned approach?
Honestly, it's a new day. It's different now. Times are different. So, I mean, I see no problem with that.
You know?
She's putting forth an effort. What's wrong with that?
Okay.
Okay.
So will she have to continue to chase you?
Well,
of course, no plan. I need to know what
Now,
what
would
is
you
she
be
doing?
concerned that not only before you, she was chasing other dudes too?
New day.
That
New
you ain't
day.
right. You're not the only dude.
That part.
That right there.
That's for the next show.
that right there.
shoot your head to that.
I'm
Well, what-
what
look.
do you think?
About what? Look, I got thrown off. I was still stuck on what you said. Like,
I mean, you know, a strong, aggressive woman who believes in chasing.
oh,
after
well,
something she
the
wants.
whole question. Okay, well,
Okay.
well, I feel like to me, honestly, it's attraction to me. I would get off on it because it's like I know I give so much, so it's like that you didn't came up to me and and you showing me because you're gonna say something that's gonna grab my ear, or else I'm not. What's the point?
Yeah,
so
we're gonna ignore it.
Exactly. So if you talking that talk to me, I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna be intrigued and see. Yeah, see, like, okay, well, let's see what's going on. And then I'm gonna flip it and be more aggressive because I'm not gonna let you control or that. It's never gonna be to where you're gonna keep chasing me or being aggressive because I'm just not like that. Like,
it's good that you're telling me what you want, but like I said, at the end of the day, I'm the man.
Absolutely.
Okay. Yeah, and like you said, it is flattering for a woman to come at
really
you
is.
and be aggressive towards you. Like, well, you're a good looking man, or but whatever the situation is. Yeah, like I said, she's gonna say, like he said, something that's gonna catch our attention. And we're gonna look and everything else, but then as time goes on, it's gonna be like, okay, let me control what's happening here. Let me be the man and stuff in the relationship. I see what you want, and it's me. Right. And if I'm feeling that vibe, okay, now I'm gonna step in that role as the man, and okay, let me start courting you or doing whatever and stuff, and play that role.
See, a year and a half ago, I had a gentleman on my show. He has a good job, great career, and he was dating a woman that would not allow him to pay for anything.
Dope.
Would not allow.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, hey.
So much of being a man, like, who?
Now that's
no, because guess what? If you doing all that, I got more money to spoil you. Because if you doing all that, all the money that I got is gonna be on you.
Her. She's spoiled, but she wouldn't let him.
Okay.
Yeah, she wouldn't let him do anything.
She would not allow him to be.
Well, you cannot stop me from buying you gifts.
Right. You can't.
That's true, but
Right. I'm gonna do stuff regardless.
But if you paying a bill or doing that and on time, and then I'm like, oh my God, I didn't, and that type of stuff, or honey, I paid the house note for 6 months, or oh my God, that's like, it's gonna make me just, I don't know, it's just weird. But some men don't, they would be like, no, they'll be struggling, working at UP, doing all kind of stuff to make sure, no, I'm not gonna let you do that, even though she's killing it in her lane of work or whatever. But you still don't gonna kill yourself trying to be a man.
I better learn how to cook, clean, and do windows.
For real. Okay. Exactly.
She doing all that.
Okay,
well, if y'all
for
want
real.
to chime in, give us a call at 916-226-9226. We are taking your calls. Thank you guys for just hanging on in there with us with this little intermittent broadcast thing that's going on that we don't know what's going on. But thank you guys so much. Here's another relationship question for you all. Okay, men, be honest. Is cheating something every woman should expect in a relationship? They say all men cheat. Nobody say faithful. So is that something that women should expect in their relationship sometime down the road? Their man is probably going to cheat.
They shouldn't expect it. You should not want to have that in your mindset going into your relationship, that eventually down the line he's going to do something wrong.
That's right.
Because my thing is this: if you have that mindset, you're going to be looking for it, and anything that he does, you're not going to trust him on it at all. Mm-hmm. But the flip side to that is this: are you going to do anything wrong? Because it doesn't know it. People assume that it's going to be the man, and sometimes in cases it winds up not being the man, but the man will take the blame for it, or he'll accept the blame for it just so that he could save face on her.
Would he really accept the blame for that?
Yes.
Interesting.
Yes, because a man can take the blame, because we can take it. We can talk for the beginning of time. What do they call men? Y'all dogs.
But can a man really take a woman cheating on him?
No,
Right.
because that's why a lot of men end up killing women. Because I know 3 personally that killed their women because they found out their men was cheating. I mean, that their women was cheating on them. And so, they and one of them ended up shooting a boyfriend because I think he walked in the house, but he ended up living. He killed the girlfriend, the kids seen, then he killed himself. So at the end of the day, it just was completely, because we can't. I'm gonna say this. I know I keep playing the devil's advocate, but I just with women, it'll be. I think that a lot of women expect it because, oh, he a man, and they got all these girls in their ear talking about, well, you know, and that's why a lot of women say, well, one time don't matter. I'm gonna give him a pass on that. They go in it with that because they know this is a man, and if I'm gonna be with him 100 years, at one point he gonna slip up. But that ain't clause for me to leave him because we got this other 90% that's excellent. He's this, he's that, but this 10% of our relationship, I might have slacked up on. I might have missed my mark. That's no reason for him to cheat, but he got weak, and I'm not gonna leave my dude because just based on, you know, him getting weak one time. So I think a lot of women go into it with that mindset, like, okay, with men, no, because when a woman, again, when you open yourself up and give yourself to another man, and he's excreting stuff in you. That's why the whole situation come into, because we're not getting nothing excreting on us. Right. Like when you think about her containing all of that stuff after man after man after man, she's carrying some things, emotional, spiritual, all kind of things. So that's what I think, and I feel that with women. Yes, it's just gonna be that way. Like that's just my opinion. It just, and with men, we're gonna lose it. We're gonna end up losing it. Anything can happen, and it's very dangerous because you had the nerve to cheat. Right. Like you did. This is a man.
So you talking about this is definitely double standard.
Absolutely.
That a man,
because a man that testosterone and estrogen,
but a woman,
exactly.
And a woman, when a woman gives herself to a man,
and a man invaded my privacy, my space.
And so a man,
like
I said, that's like
and all y'all know
in my house, and taking my trophy,
and
that's why I said I equate a woman. A woman is a trophy. She's supposed to be.
So what emotions do you think we have when y'all cheat on us?
$1 billion.
Absolutely.
Just $1 billion.
$1 billion, and you know what? And y'all show all of it. Y'all cry, y'all everything, your anger. I mean, y'all go from 0 to $1 million, and y'all show it.
But see, the thing is,
a man, we try to hold everything in because we want to be cool. But when somebody touches our woman, our prize, our trophy, that's when we lose it.
Y'all don't think y'all prize to us?
Absolutely.
You see, my thing is, okay, women cry, and how many times a woman have cried and their husband had cheated on them umpteen times?
Right.
And he was not moved by now one tear that she had.
Right.
He bought her
And
some
kept
flowers.
cheating.
He kept cheating.
Kept cheating. Bought her some flowers, bought some
And
chocolates.
as soon as she stepped
bought her
out,
house, bought her a car, and still doing the same thing.
and as soon as
'Cause
she
look at
stepped
T.I.
out,
and
that
Tiny.
man was like Fred Sanford.
He bought her a nice car for her
Absolutely.
birthday
Jesus.
after he was caught cheating, but still doing the same thing, still apologizing. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. How many times y'all gonna be sorry?
Yeah.
Exactly.
And you know, they say, you're so sorry, you started to look sorry. So how many sorries?
Because
should
she a
woman
bag
have?
lady. Because she like them gifts. She said it don't affect her, but she likes them gifts. And it's all the way she set up her relationship. You was picking women for T.I.
But it's not about, you talking about Tiny.
Yeah.
But just
Yeah.
in a relationship when a man bought a woman gifts, when is he going to be sorry and love her enough to heal
Absolutely.
her?
That's a whole nother.
That's a whole nother story.
You're absolutely right.
But then,
That's a
in
whole
her
nother
hurt,
story.
if she goes out and cheat, and all of a sudden y'all want to blow up everybody, that's my prize.
Because, lady, we don't know how to
That's my trophy.
compartmentalize it, and we don't know how to deal with it.
We
We
don't
ain't
know how
cut
to
from that
deal with
cloth.
it and say, okay, you know
Yeah.
what, she cheated. I've been doing X, Y, and Z. I understand. We don't know how to go to those levels as a man.
Yeah.
We go from here and we turn into a beast.
Absolutely.
And that's how we deal with our emotions. Even when we get mad about somebody running into our car, we don't know how to get out. Oh, sorry, are you okay? Are you
Absolutely.
okay in an accident? No, we go from what the hell was
Yep.
you? And
Yep.
and that's how men are built, because they tell us when we're growing up as young men, be strong, don't you cry.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Don't you
my husband
cry.
would be the one getting out the car talking about, okay, let me take a look at the car.
I would.
Yeah,
I would.
But you know,
He's
but-
rational.
but-
He's rational, and that's
but
great.
The thing is this, though,
That's through
it's great.
experience.
I'm like that now,
Uh-huh.
but when I was younger, oh no, you did something to me or did something else. I went from 0 to 100, and the only thing that
I'm
I could
still
think of
working
was
on mine.
how can I destroy what is in front of me because they done did something wrong to me.
And I think it just goes down to just our makeup and how we're wired too.
Right,
As men,
absolutely.
we
Your background.
can kind of departmentalize our feelings. We can be with somebody, not really have feelings for them, and just it's just the act or whatever.
Yeah.
But a woman gives her heart,
Come on.
gives
Oh, yeah.
her
Come on.
body, gives her
Oh, yeah.
emotions.
Come on.
She ain't gonna
on.
find you,
And once they
and
give
that
it-
it's
come
like that
on.
emotional cheating goes along with the physical cheating. We may physically cheat, but our heart still can be someplace else.
Well, you know what?
So-
to us, it's
so-
an act.
Yeah,
it's an act.
and so you give your heart, you give your soul, you give all that to a man, and it's just like that.
That's why we say
That's
you
hard.
gave him my what? Like we claim it.
We claim it.
We don't hear a girl
own
say,
that.
"Oh, you gave her my," no. It's like you gave her my what?
And
you know
that
what I'm
doesn't
saying?
make it right.
It sure
it
don't,
doesn't
but-
make it right. But I think there is a degree of cheating that cheating is different from a man's perspective than
Right.
maybe from a woman cheating.
Exactly.
It's just
That's true.
emotionally.
Well, like I said, I mean, we are wired differently.
Yeah.
Men are wired differently than women, and like you said, a woman is taught like I said, taught to be a lady, to talk, speak softly, to carry themselves a certain way.
Yeah.
Men, by our fathers or our uncles and everything else, like I said, if somebody hit you, what would your parents tell you to do?
Right.
You better go back
Right.
down that street and
Right.
you better beat
Right.
that boy
Yeah,
up.
absolutely.
Right.
I mean, and that's
I don't
how
care
we're
what.
wired. We're
Yeah.
wired differently. That's why there's a man and then there's a woman. We are totally two different things.
Yeah.
And to the question of, I don't think any woman should go into the relationship expecting that to happen,
No.
but they should work. And both couples, both man and female, they both should work to prevent that from happening.
Absolutely.
There has to be some defense in that relationship to prevent that from happening in the first
True,
place.
true
And that means communication, that means sharing, that means intimacy, that means things to protect the relationship instead of just wait for it to implode. And for it to destruct.
good.
So
That's good.
and I think that's
The
what makes
work.
the hardest part of a relationship, because I don't think a lot of men know how to work through like problems,
Right.
like
We
talk
don't.
through
We
stuff
don't.
and kind of
We
work
don't.
through stuff. And so our reaction sometimes just go, I'm out.
Well, know how
we
to
just
fix
we
things.
going out.
That's
Yeah.
what
know,
a
and
man
so-
does. We know how to fix things, and that's where an apology comes in. That okay, I did something wrong. How do I fix it? How to fix? Baby, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That's how we think. But a woman says when something goes wrong with a woman, they'll think it out, and we'll be. And a lot of times, as men, we look at them like, I never thought of that, or I never
Right,
looked at
right,
that
right.
perspective.
Yep.
How they broke it down.
Absolutely.
We just say, okay,
I'm sorry, get over it. Let's move
Yeah,
on.
get over- yeah.
Let's don't bring it up again.
I'm sorry.
I said I'm sorry. How many times you want me to say I'm sorry?
And
right.
that's it. Don't
You
bring
know?
it up 6 months from now.
Right.
Don't bring it up
Lying.
6 months from now.
Get over
I
it.
said I was sorry.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
And those are the magic
That's
words.
That's
I don't
said
say
I was sorry,
Now, I don't
so
say I'm sorry all the
next.
time
But
either.
But why do
Yeah,
men think
not
that
at
I'm
all.
sorry will fix something? And her heart is broken, it is shattered.
Sometimes we can't identify with that
We
that
don't
hurt.
know that pain. I don't think we
y-
realize that
yeah.
pain. I don't think we know the pain that you actually feel.
So then when she goes and
it-
cheats on you, now you feel it.
yes.
Okay, now
See,
you
now it's too late, though.
Right. Now,
Okay,
but then,
now you're
by
able to
then,
identify.
Now it's
by then
too late,
it's too
though.
late because
Yeah.
if she
Now you
has
mad,
gone
you
that
wanna
far,
leave.
that means we can't fix it. It's like no super glue is gonna fix that. We done broke
So-
that.
so
We
you
done
thought-
broke
so you
her
thought
enough.
I'm
We done
sorry
broke
was gonna
her
fix
enough
it.
that she felt that she needed to go out and go somewhere else. So at that point in time, as a man, you need to say, okay, you know what?
And if you
If
cheat
I
on your,
really- if
yeah.
I
Well,
really,
my
really
question
want
is,
her-
You didn't think that the cheating was going to break her.
I mean, but if you
At the time, probably not.
and if you do cheat on your husband, get ready for the weight of the world to call you a hoe. Everywhere you go, you're gonna be a hoe to everybody. Your church women, because see when
Yes.
I don't care if you did
Get
that.
ready for
So
the church to call you a
get
hoe.
ready, get ready.
but I
Forget
mean,
what he's saying,
right.
but get ready for this world because you're
Because
a
they're gonna
woman who
look at
stepped
her
out in your
differently.
marriage.
Right.
From work, from church, I don't care what nobody. You gonna get it. You finna get it, and I ain't got to do nothing. Because if you want to be an hold yourself to this type of standard, and you got the nerve to cheat on your husband, okay, do it if you want.
Or
to.
after the husband cheated on the wife. So basically, it's not even the husband.
But they
it's the
don't know
woman.
that exactly. Don't leave out gracefully. That's why you don't cheat as a woman because you got to hold.
Oh, they
your,
don't know you cheated?
Yeah, but they don't matter to the world because they're not gonna ask that question when they
They're not
find
going to
out
ask
that they
what did
cheated.
the man do.
Yeah, because it's
all
gonna
they're
get out
going to
that
see is that.
absolutely.
Oh, you stepped out on your husband?
Yeah, he was a gift. All we seen was him coming to this and doing
Right,
this
'cause
for
they don't-
you.
the
And
outside
you guys
world
been
doesn't
doing.
see what's in
they
your
don't
world.
care about. They just know that
They
this
don't see
woman.
it.
The
that's
world
why it's-
embraces the double standard.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
world.
Okay,
Come
and you
on,
want to know
Brother
why?
Joe.
And let me tell you something why the world probably don't know, the
Mm-hmm.
church don't know, because women, we cover y'all. We cover your mess, and that's what we do. We try
Amen.
to cover it
Right.
to make everything, and that's what we do.
Y'all know how to fix
You ain't lying.
things
I
and
don't-
go through the proper
not
steps
necessarily
of
fix it,
Well,
we know
you
how to cover it.
You know how to
And
to-
present
to-
something.
to
Yeah.
present something
Yeah.
totally different.
Right.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
what y'all are
Because we
good
love
at.
y'all to cover you.
Right.
Right.
But
Yeah.
you don't love us enough to cover us because you're all out there in the streets.
Right,
I wish
right.
men gave women the same type of respect. But you don't.
But you
cover
know
us.
what, though?
But there's
I
some men,
think-
but there's some men out
But-
there out there that do that they protect their wives and everything else.
Because there's this one guy I know. He locally here in the city. He with everybody, and he married. And it's unfortunate that everybody know he with everybody.
Do the wife know?
She should know by now. Really sweet lady, but she should know. She should know by now. But it's unfortunate. You know what I'm saying? That this woman's husband is out there with everybody. And
how
she probably
long?
know that. Well, he been doing
But
this
you
for a
know
long
what though?
time.
Jesus,
I think that's a flaw in some upbringing. There's a
Yeah.
flaw in our hearts sometimes because a man is how can I say this?
Dig deep.
A man sometimes lacks the communication and some of the tools necessary to
Absolutely.
kind of work through some things.
Absolutely.
And so a reaction instead of a plan, a reaction is sometimes just stepping out and leaving a situation because if it's something that we can't handle, sometimes we just
Well, it's
up
easier.
and leave.
It's easier.
Come on.
Up and leave instead of
Yeah.
working things through,
Right.
thinking things through. Let me sit down. Let me talk to some boys. Give me some good advice. How should I do this? I'm having a problem with this. It's hard for us to admit that we're having some issues in our relationship that we
Amen.
can't solve ourselves. So then, as a result, we just kind of back off. We step out. We do something stupid. We have a one night stand. Go to a strip club. You do something stupid, and then you come to your senses later on. You be like, man, I messed up.
Right.
And, but we don't. A lot of times we don't do that forethought of really thinking things through
Right.
in our relationship. That maybe other things we think things through on our finances,
as men,
fixing
you
a
know-
car,
Right.
building a house. But something with a relationship, we're like, man. Sometimes we find ourselves at a crossroads of how to do this thing.
Well, we're
Yeah,
more reactive
that's
than
true.
we are proactive. That's just a man. That's the DNA. I think build of a man. We're more reactive. We see something happening and then we're like, okay, this is what we do.
That's a good Facebook.
That's
You know what I'm saying? We're more reactive to what we see, what's happening in our marriage or what's happening in our life or with our girlfriend or whatever and stuff. We're more reactive. A woman sees what we're doing and you guys are proactive. Okay, wait a minute. Let me put this in place. Let me show him this. Let me point out these things that, hey, baby, we need to go a different route.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? And like he said, we don't go to our homeboys and say, man, D, man, I done messed up. I done did X, Y, and Z and everything else because we feel like, okay, if I tell this brother this, man, he gonna look at me like, what is wrong with this soft brother right here? You done got in touch with your feminine side.
You will though after she files for
But-
divorce.
Oh, you gonna get real feminine because I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm gonna tell you right now. You see the cartoons where the water just running down and he wringing out your shirts? Please.
Man, she went and found some papers, man.
Man, please.
Please. With the water popping out his eyes.
What I wanted to point out on here is
Go ahead.
I believe her name is. I hope I don't pronounce it wrong. Akeisha. She had it. She goes, "Do you think once a cheat, always a cheat?" You
I don't
always
think
hear
so.
that.
I don't think
question.
so.
You always hear
I don't
that,
think
and
so.
I don't think so. I don't think so. I think when a man steps out and does something, there's something that either he was lacking, that he was not getting, and was not paying attention to.
Amen.
But on the flip side too, if a man comes to a woman, because like I said, we keep everything inside. If a man comes to a woman and says, "You're not catering to me enough," and we get ignored, trust me, as a man, we gonna go find it because, like you said, there's more women than there are men, and we're gonna go find it. My thing is this: it all boils down and gets back to the fact of communication.
It is.
You got to be able to talk. You should be
Yeah.
able to talk, laugh, joke,
Yeah.
anything. And that, again, comes back to the point that I said, if people would be friends and learn each other and really learn each other. Because we always, as men, we see a beautiful woman. Ooh, I want to holler at her. A woman sees a man, they got the same thought process.
Yeah.
That's a good looking man. Ooh, I wonder what he's about. And that's the first thing that attracts us. But then we stay on that same path of the attraction instead of sitting there saying, okay, you know what? Let me get to know you. Let me be your friend. People always say that a man and a woman can't be friends. I think that's a bunch of bullshit. Sorry.
Yeah, that's a lie.
It's something that you want to do and you have to try. And if you want to be that person's friend, you're going to have more good times than you will have bad times. And it's
true.
it's
That's a
that
good
simple.
point. That's a
It's
good
that
point.
simple. It's that simple.
good.
That's true.
You know, because like I said, if I'm having fun with that person, then I can be silly with that person and everything else. It's gonna be easy as a man to sit there and say I love you,
Yeah.
and I'll say it anywhere.
Yeah.
I'll kiss you anywhere.
can
I'm
be
gonna hold your
vulnerable with
hand. We can be in the car. We can be sitting on the couch at home, and we hugged up, cuddle up, and we being silly. To our boys, it might look silly, but guess what? I'm happy.
Yeah.
Happy. That's right.
I'm happy, and
Your
that's
heart is
that's
happy.
really the whole thing
Yep.
that's
The only
important
thing
in a
that happens.
relationship.
Yep.
Period.
That is the only thing that you should be concerned about is you two being happy. Like I said, people need to realize when you get married and stuff, they say two becomes one. That means your circle should be the size of a pin drop.
All right.
Period.
Okay.
Because nobody else matters and stuff. In a marriage, it's two people. You shouldn't go outside and ask this person their opinion and everything else because they can't fix what's happening there.
Right.
True
And if
that.
you don't trust the other person and you guys ain't friends enough that I can sit there and say anything to you, and I know that we are friends, and whatever's coming out of your mouth, whether it's good, bad, or indifferent, I'll be able to accept it as a man because I'm like, you know what? I'm talking to my friend.
Come on.
I'm
That's
talking
good.
to my friend.
That's good.
So my friend ain't ever gonna steer me wrong.
That's right.
I mean, that's what we believe. When we got our homeboys
I
and
can
stuff,
trust
like I
you.
said, I can trust.
Yeah.
I can say D is my friend.
Absolutely. That's right.
Right.
Me and D have had some
Absolutely.
deep conversations,
Bottom line.
man to man, with nobody around.
Yeah.
And I'm
Period.
talking about some deep stuff where, man, bro, I'm real hurt right now with a situation that's going on.
That's right.
Whether the kids or anything, relationship, family, whatever.
Yeah.
If you could do that with your friend and your friend tell you the truth, hey man, you messed up. Bro, you messed up.
Yep.
That's genuine.
You gonna hear it.
That's a real friend.
That's
Yeah.
a real friend.
Yeah.
So if you
Absolutely.
sit there and say, okay, my wife or my girlfriend, that's my friend. And I hear people say that, so they're my friend.
Yeah.
But I don't hear it often.
Yep.
I don't hear it often. And maybe if people sat there and really sat down and just had a conversation with their significant other on what they like, what they don't like I said before, you'd really probably be real surprised where your relationship will go.
That's good.
Gang.
And you mentioned that communication is important. Also, learning how to resolve conflict, which again, we may not be as skilled,
Oh, yeah.
but learning how to resolve conflict and fighting fair.
Yeah.
Don't withhold the sex. Don't kick him on the couch for 3 months.
yeah.
You got to be
Yeah,
able
don't
to.
do that.
don't-
Don't
you
do
got to be
that.
able to. At
Because
some
we need
point,
it as men. Trust him.
Okay.
you got to be
We
able to. At
need
some
it as
point,
men.
Right.
you got to work through some stuff.
And you
got to
gonna
work
tell me
through
you
some
gonna-
stuff.
You
Right.
gonna lock away my stuff?
That part. Based on
Somebody
what?
up in here gonna have a problem.
See, I mean, but
then that's when the mind
real,
start playing
though.
tricks.
Is he
It plays
cheating?
tricks
Is
on
he
you.
cheating?
Yeah.
It
You
plays
know, and
tricks
you could
on
be
you.
laying up in the bed,
You don't
but-
want to touch me. You don't want to. Okay. Well, wait a minute. And like I said, men, we
go
like
there.
dogs with a squirrel. Squirrel.
Yeah.
That's what we do. We start thinking things that ain't really there.
Absolutely.
Because of how our
Absolutely.
wife or our
How they
girlfriend is
moving.
acting. So,
Yeah.
You hit a point there because my husband said that, because I put him on lockdown, right? You be mad. You be
Not
mad.
for too long,
I'd
did you,
be
lady?
mad.
But
Are
no,
you mad?
but my husband, but that's true because my husband was like, because my mind get to thinking and you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
And so, but that is so true. Okay, ladies, y'all listening?
That's
But
right.
I ain't the only woman that's done that. You know what I'm
No,
saying?
and let me
But
let me
he
tell.
was- but you're
Go
right
ahead.
because he had told me that and I was like, oh, you weren't supposed to be thinking anything. You were just supposed to know I was
Yeah.
just mad at you.
right.
But see, the thing is, I know my wife is beautiful. I know that she's out there and guys are attracted to it, and she's making it seem like it's no big deal.
Right.
She's making it seem like, I can just be like this for a long time. Just going in and out, and acting like and wanting me to act normal.
Yeah.
I'm not normal.
No.
My head, I'm spinning around like, what is going
And see,
on?
Aquarius
And
like
she
me,
coming in
it's like,
smiling, having
yeah.
a good day. Work was fine. I had
Yeah, no.
the sun's
Break that
out.
down.
I don't care about the sun. I don't care about work.
Right.
When we gonna get back?
Right. Exactly. That part.
That part, right. And then, like you said, we get to thinking, okay, wait a minute, my wife, okay, wait a minute, he's within that 1 foot boundary around my wife. Back up.
Yeah. Exactly.
Back up.
Why you smiling at my wife?
You in that
Absolutely.
space
Why
that I'm
you
like,
cheesing?
A little too close.
You know?
Absolutely.
Back up.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And we in church hugging. She's a hugger. She hugging. Why you hugging all on? You ain't here giving me a hug.
Exactly.
What's
I'm
it?
mad at
Hey,
you
look,
and
look,
you
look,
saying.
That's
Pastor,
right. That's
Deacon,
real talk.
that hug was about
Yeah,
2.2
yeah.
seconds
Yeah,
too fast.
Too long.
No. Y'all grinning and skinning a little too
much.
close.
Right.
Too much.
and Brother
Everything
Joe-
get magnified.
Right, exactly. And brother Joe, tell me the
Right.
truth, because you Aquarius too. Like you would talk, because we good communicators, I believe, and you'll talk to you dead in the head, but won't you shut down eventually?
Oh, I do.
Yeah,
I
that's,
do.
That's a known
I
fact.
do.
With us.
And see that's
you'll talk,
the
but-
distance.
yeah,
The distance.
yeah,
Then
yeah.
it just multiplies.
Yes,
Right.
yes.
And that's dangerous.
It's very
That's
dangerous.
Oh,
dangerous.
yeah, even as a Capricorn and
That's
stuff, man,
dangerous.
like you
Yeah.
said, when you get the, okay, it's a wrap. I don't hear nothing else that you saying.
You don't want to be numb.
And I'm like, right
Yeah,
now, I'm
yeah.
not feeling anything
Yeah.
that you. If you get the okay, I mean, there's like okay, but you get okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's like, okay, I'm gonna
Completely
shut
different.
down.
What was that song you like? You like, babe?
Yeah.
If you don't that country song you like.
Oh,
If your
my
man
blues
stop,
song?
if your
Oh,
man
my blues
stop,
song.
yeah. What was that?
It's called when she stops asking where you been. That means it's time for you to make it on in. When she stops asking where you go, that means your woman don't want you no more.
And it's the same way for a man.
Yeah.
If you start stepping out and I'm not concerned, that's a problem.
So,
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
That's
we're
a
not
problem.
where you
Suggested
been.
something like
Yeah,
But
yeah.
when
That,
she
that's
stops
that's that's
asking-
a problem. You
Women-
stop
women
asking,
better pay attention.
and we ain't been
to the man
together for a
said,
while, and I'm cool.
okay, go
Yep.
ahead.
Man, understand it.
And I think
Very
men-
good.
Understand it,
men
bro.
miss the signs. You know, and when she ain't tripping no more, she ain't really ain't asking. You better start wondering why she not asking. She's not tripping off me being out for a long time.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
it's-
It goes both ways.
A lot of men, they're
Yeah,
so
it
in
does.
their
Yeah,
mess that they
yeah.
miss the fact that she's not tripping off of you
Yeah.
anymore.
Right.
That means that she didn't went her own little separate
Yep.
way.
It goes
But-
away.
Yeah,
So you gotta get smart.
somebody else has her attention.
There
Yeah.
you go.
When they sit there and let you, like I said, oh, go ahead, babe.
Yeah, go.
Oh, you ain't coming home? Okay.
All night. Go ahead, huh?
Let me
Yeah,
pick my
okay,
side
bro.
piece.
I'm like this. You better
Better
get
make
to
it on in.
the end of the corner. Bust that left, make another left, and make another left, because that's going to be a complete block that you don't come back home. You better bring your butt back in the house. That's all I'm saying.
Well, fellas, I know we have gone over. Thank
Okay.
you guys so much for staying with us because the first show actually interrupted. So this was actually part 2. I'm going to end up putting the show back together, and then we're going to re-air this particular show. But guys, thank you so much. Thank you to the callers that called in. We greatly appreciate it. On next Thursday, we will not be live because we were actually doing a Lady Charmaine night at the movies. So we're going to be seeing Nobody's Fool. So thank you to everyone that actually signed up for the movie night. We really appreciate you all. And make sure you go to LadyCharmaineLive.com and sign up there if you want to be on the list for any of the free movies that we'll be doing and that we have coming up. And again, I want to say thank you to my wonderful guest, my husband, Joe Bassett.
All right.
Also,
Always a
Mr.
pleasure.
Ozzie McNabb.
Yes.
Special guest today, Mr. Kenny Taylor. Thank you so
All right,
much, Kenny,
Kenny.
for joining me on the show today. And of course, we got the hair hustler, Mr. Derek Dennis.
Mr. Hustler.
And again, thank
All right.
you guys so much for joining me on the show. And thank you, everybody, for watching. We appreciate y'all. Good night.